And so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do one of these eye stitches, embroidery things. This is my creation. I actually found it while I was browsing online on DeviantArt. This is basically for your plushies or stuffed animals so that it gives it a more quality look. I'll leave a link on the description below so you guys can see the original creator. Okay, so what I did was I actually printed out an eye and I'm gonna cut it. Use some of this fabric material, some of this felt, and we're going to trace the eye that we just cut off on here with what is it called, a dry erase marker. And I'm using a dry erase marker because it's very easy to wash and it washes away. If it's very light, if you do it with a light touch, it'll go away, and it's perfect for this basically. Alright, so this is a pretty good circle, I think. I messed up a little bit right here, but whatever. Now we're going to cut out the other edge, or the other outline. Make sure not to cut inside the black line. So now you have to place it in the middle. And try to trace it as close as you can to the line so that it doesn't bleed out. Or not bleed out, but you know what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. So now you have the outline, and now we're just going to cut out the rest of it. Never cut inside the white line or the black line. It's always outside. Yeah. Alright. So you can always use this as a guide. And so the eyeball is right there. And let's see. Okay. So there we have the outline of the eye. It's a little blurry. And yeah. So now we're going to use one of these tambours, and this one's a little bit too small, but whatever. Now we're going to place it so that there's enough fabric. And it doesn't matter that this is like folded because it's going to go to its original size. So it doesn't matter. Just make sure that you put it on there. Alright. Okay, so now we're going to take one of these yarn things, and this isn't the color, the same color, but because I'm running out of the other one, we're just going to go ahead and use one of these, and yeah, make sure to cut a fairly long line of it because you're going to need it. So let's say it has to be pretty long, so I'll cut it right here. Alright. So now we're gonna use just one of the strings. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you guys can. This camera isn't really quality, but whatever. Okay, so we're gonna take one of the yarns, or one of the strings from the 6, since these are pretty thick, and we don't want to use that. Okay, so you just pull it out. I actually made the mistake of pulling it out while it was still wrapped like this, and it was just a huge mess. Did not look pretty. We're gonna try to make 2 knots at the end, see, so that it fits and that it doesn't get through the felt. Alright, so oh, and another thing, if you want to use guides, sorry, let me zoom in. Okay, so you're gonna take your dry erase marker, and since you want the stitch to go down, you can use this as a guide very lightly, because you're not gonna use the stitches all at once. Okay, so that's basically how it is. And you're gonna start out by stitching this little shape, and then you're gonna go to the next one, and you're gonna go to the next one, or you can even make it smaller. Let's see, right there. You can make all of these smaller. And yeah, so we're gonna take the side that's knotted, and we're gonna go underneath. Or not right there. Let's say right there. Okay. So we're gonna pull. Okay, so now you want your stitches to go all down. So we're just gonna put another stitch right below that one. Crap. And then we're gonna come back out at the top right here. Always at the top. We're gonna pull. We're gonna make another stitch. And you always want your stitches to be really small, because if it's not, it's just gonna, the stitches are gonna sag and they're gonna look really off. So make sure that the stitches are small and tight. I would suggest you guys do a few practice ones before you do the actual eye and you stitch it onto your plushie, because it's not going to look as good as the third or the fourth one that you've made. Okay, I think you get the point, but basically you just have to fill this out. Alright, so now what I've done is I've run out of yarn, and I hope you guys can see this, but this is how I'm going to tie it, and you pretty much just pick up one of the stitches and you pass it, you see that? You pass it through. It's basically a blanket stitch, and since I'm not too sure if it's gonna tie, I do a couple more blanket stitches on the back. And another one. Right there. And then to finish it off, I just took it in over here, and I take the scissors and I cut it fairly close. Oh, you can't see it. You cut it fairly close to the thing. You want these stitches for the inside of the eye to be a lot smaller than the other ones, because it just looks a lot nicer. I don't know what else to say then, other than it just looks nice. So okay, so once you've finished stitching the inside of the eye and the outer side of the eye right here, you're gonna cut a few centimeters from the felt and you're gonna leave it on the fabric. I'm not gonna cut this one because I still have to stitch on the outer line of the eye, and I still have to do this one, so I'll just show it with this first one that I made. You're gonna leave a little bit of felt so that you could stitch it onto the fabric, and yeah, that's the video.